In a grand chamber filled with alien leaders, the Galactic Council convened to discuss the latest news from Earth. Bright lights glimmered overhead, illuminating the faces of powerful beings from various worlds. They looked serious, but the topic was anything but serious to them. The humans, they believed, were not a threat. They were primitive and outdated, a mere curiosity in the vast galaxy. The human ambassador, a tall figure with a calm demeanor, stood before them. He presented data on Earth's military capabilities, hoping to convince the Council of humanity's strength. His voice was steady, but a hint of frustration crept in as he noticed the dismissive smirks on the alien leaders' faces. "Humans have made significant advancements in technology," he explained. "Our military is stronger than you think. We have weapons and strategies that can surprise anyone." A short alien with bright green skin and large eyes chuckled. "Weapons? You mean your outdated machines? What do you think you can do against our fleets? You're still using technology from centuries ago." The other council members laughed, their voices echoing in the chamber. The ambassador felt a rush of anger but controlled himself. "You underestimate us. Just because we're different doesn't mean we're weak. Our history is filled with victories against greater odds." But the council was not convinced. They continued to ridicule the humans, comparing them to insects scurrying about. "Why worry about a tiny planet? They can't even travel between stars like we do," another alien scoffed. They believed their advanced ships and technology made them invincible. As the laughter echoed in the chamber, the ambassador turned and left, his heart heavy. He knew humanity had faced challenges before, but this felt different. The council's mockery ignited a fire in him. They had no idea what humans were capable of. Back on Earth, the news of the council's meeting reached the military leaders. They had been monitoring the situation closely and were not pleased with the council's attitude. A meeting was held in a secure location where generals and scientists gathered to discuss their next move. "We need to show them we are not to be laughed at," said General Harper, a seasoned leader with years of experience. "We've been developing new technology in secret. It's time to unveil it." The scientists nodded, excited about their progress. They had been working on a new Dreadnought, a massive warship equipped with the latest advancements in weaponry and defense systems. It was unlike anything the galaxy had seen. "Once we reveal the Dreadnought, they will see we are not weak," said Dr. Ramirez, the lead engineer. "This ship can turn the tide in any battle. It's our chance to change their perception." Meanwhile, the council continued to discuss their plans to deal with humanity. They believed that sending a small fleet to Earth would intimidate the humans and remind them of their place in the galaxy. Little did they know that their assumptions would soon be challenged. Back on Earth, preparations were underway for the Dreadnought's launch. The excitement was palpable. Soldiers trained tirelessly, knowing that their chance to prove themselves was near. They wanted to show the galaxy that humanity could stand tall among the stars. As the days passed, the Dreadnought took shape. It was a magnificent sight, towering above the ships in the dock. Its sleek design and advanced technology were a testament to human ingenuity. The military leaders knew this ship would be their first line of defense against the underestimation of the Galactic Council. The day of the launch arrived. Thousands of humans gathered to witness the unveiling of their newest weapon. Cheers erupted as the Dreadnought emerged from the dock, gleaming under the sun. The message was clear. Humanity would no longer be underestimated. As the Council prepared to send their fleet toward Earth, they remained oblivious to the storm brewing beneath the surface. They laughed at the thought of a human military, not realizing that soon they would face a force they never expected. The stage was set, and the curtain was about to rise on a new chapter in the galaxy. A chapter where humanity would prove its strength against the laughter of the Galactic Council. The Galactic Council's laughter echoed in their chambers. But beneath the surface, tensions were rising. News spread quickly across the galaxy that Earth was preparing to unveil a new weapon. The Council dismissed it as mere bravado, but unease crept into their ranks. They had underestimated humanity once, and they weren't sure they wanted to do it again. Meanwhile, on Earth, the atmosphere was charged with anticipation. The military worked around the clock to finish the Dreadnought, a massive ship that was more than just a vessel. It was a symbol of humanity's strength and resolve. General Harper watched the construction with pride. "This is our moment," he said to his team. "We're ready to show the galaxy what we can do." As the final touches were added, a small incident occurred that would change everything. An alien fleet, unaware of the rising tensions, accidentally crossed into Earth's space. They were on a routine patrol, but the sight of their ships near Earth sparked alarm. The military quickly detected the intrusion, and a sense of urgency filled the command center. "Prepare to engage," General Harper ordered. The soldiers scrambled to their stations, adrenaline pumping through their veins. They were ready to defend their planet against what they perceived as a threat. The alien ships, sleek and advanced, hovered just outside Earth's atmosphere. The commander of the alien fleet, a tall creature with shimmering scales, looked down at the small blue planet. "What do they think they can do?" he sneered, confident that Earth would back down. "They're nothing but ants." But the humans were ready. The Dreadnought was still being prepared, but Earth had smaller ships armed and ready for action. As the aliens entered the atmosphere, they were met by a squadron of human fighters. The two sides exchanged warning shots and the tension escalated. The council, watching from afar, received urgent reports about the incident. They gathered in their chamber, debating what to do next. Some argued for a show of force, believing it would remind humanity of their place. "We need to send a fleet to teach them a lesson," said a fierce-looking alien with sharp features. Others were more cautious. "What if they surprise us? We cannot underestimate them again. The Dreadnought is coming, and we should be prepared." The arguments continued, but the decision was made. A small fleet would head toward Earth to assert dominance. Back on Earth, the military was on high alert. The news of the alien fleet approaching sent shockwaves through the command center. General Harper gathered his top officers, determination in his eyes. "We need to show them we're not afraid. We will stand our ground." As the alien ships drew closer, the Dreadnought finally completed its final tests. It was ready. The crew felt a mix of excitement and fear as they boarded the ship. They knew this battle would be different. They were not just fighting for survival, they were fighting for respect. The alien fleet entered Earth's orbit, and the commander ordered them to prepare for a display of power. "Let's show them what happens when they defy us," he declared, his voice full of arrogance. The aliens fired warning shots at the planet, thinking the humans would cower in fear. But the humans did not back down. The Dreadnought, now fully operational, rose from its dock and headed into space. Its powerful engines roared to life, and the crew felt the ship vibrate beneath them. "This is it," General Harper said. "Let's show them our strength." As the Dreadnought entered the battlefield, the atmosphere crackled with tension. The aliens stared in disbelief at the massive ship approaching them. This was not what they expected. They had thought humans were weak, but this ship was proof of their resolve. The two sides faced each other, and the tension reached a breaking point. The aliens, confident in their advanced technology, prepared to attack. But the Dreadnought, equipped with cutting-edge weapons and strategies, was ready to respond. In that moment, the Galactic Council watched from afar, realizing they might have made a grave mistake. The laughter had faded, replaced by a growing fear of the unknown. Humanity was not just a small planet, it was a force to be reckoned with. The stage was set for a confrontation that would change everything. The galaxy held its breath as the tension between the two sides built, waiting for the first move that would determine the fate of Earth and the future of the Galactic Council. The moment had finally arrived. The Dreadnought, humanity's pride and hope, was ready to be unveiled. On Earth, excitement buzzed through the air as people gathered to witness the launch. Soldiers, scientists, and civilians filled the viewing areas, all eager to see the massive ship that would represent their strength in the galaxy. General Harper stood on the platform, looking out at the crowd. His heart raced with anticipation. "Today we show the galaxy who we are," he announced, his voice booming through the speakers. "This Dreadnought is more than just a ship. It is a symbol of our unity and resilience. We will not back down!" As the crowd cheered, the massive doors of the docking bay opened. The Dreadnought slowly emerged, glimmering under the sunlight. Its sleek, powerful design was unlike anything the galaxy had seen before. It towered over other ships, a giant in the vastness of space. The sight sent shivers of pride and fear through everyone watching. Inside the Dreadnought, the crew prepared for its maiden voyage. Captain Morgan, a seasoned officer with years of experience, stood at the helm. "Everyone, this is our chance to make history," he said, glancing around at his team. "We are ready for whatever comes next. Let's show them what we can do." As the ship powered up, the crew felt the vibrations of the engines beneath their feet. The Dreadnought was equipped with the latest technology, advanced weaponry, powerful shields, and a crew trained for combat. Everyone had worked tirelessly to prepare for this moment, and now it was time to take to the stars. The Dreadnought launched into the sky, soaring above the planet. As it ascended, the crew watched Earth grow smaller below them, their hearts filled with determination. They were on a mission to prove that humanity was not to be underestimated. Meanwhile, in the Galactic Council chambers, the alien leaders received reports of the Dreadnought's launch. They watched the massive ship rise into space, their expressions shifting from amusement to concern. "What is that?" one alien exclaimed, its eyes widening in disbelief. "We did not expect them to develop such a powerful vessel." The Council quickly convened to discuss the situation. "We must prepare our fleet for a confrontation," the commander said, trying to regain control of the meeting. "This ship could change everything. We cannot let it challenge our authority." Back aboard the Dreadnought, Captain Morgan and his crew were focused. They had entered the vicinity of the alien fleet, which was still hovering in Earth's orbit. The atmosphere on the ship was tense. Everyone knew that this would be their first encounter with the aliens who had laughed at them. "Captain, we have visual on the enemy fleet," the tactical officer reported. "They are positioned and appear ready for a fight." Morgan nodded, his expression serious. "Prepare for battle stations. We will not fire unless they attack first. Let's show them we are here to defend our home, not to start a war." As the Dreadnought moved closer, the alien ships turned to face the new threat. The commander of the alien fleet, still arrogant, ordered his ships to fire warning shots. "Let's remind them who they're dealing with," he sneered. But instead of retreating, the Dreadnought held its ground. The crew watched as the alien beams streaked through space, missing their mark. The Dreadnought's powerful shields absorbed the energy, proving their strength right from the start. "Shields holding steady!" shouted the engineer. The crew erupted in cheers, their spirits lifted. The Dreadnought had passed its first test, and they felt more confident than ever. The aliens, surprised by the human ship's resilience, began to realize that this battle would not be as easy as they had expected. "What kind of ship is this?" the commander shouted, frustration growing in his voice. "We need to regroup and reassess!" But the humans were not backing down. The Dreadnought began to maneuver, showcasing its agility and strength. Captain Morgan turned to his crew, a fierce determination in his eyes. "Let's show them the power of humanity. Ready weapons!" As the Dreadnought prepared for its next move, the tension in the galaxy reached a boiling point. The stage was set for a confrontation that would change everything. The Dreadnought was not just a ship, it was a beacon of hope for humanity, a force ready to challenge the arrogance of the Galactic Council. The Dreadnought floated majestically in space, its sleek hull shimmering under the distant stars. Captain Morgan stood at the helm, his heart racing with adrenaline. The alien fleet loomed ahead, a stark reminder of the challenge they faced. This was the moment they had prepared for, and he was ready to show the galaxy what humanity could do. "Status report!" he commanded, his voice steady but firm. The crew members at their stations quickly responded. "Shields at full power!" said the engineer, his eyes fixed on the readings. "Weapon systems are online and ready." "Good. Let's remind them that we are not to be taken lightly," Morgan replied, a fierce determination in his eyes. As the alien ships closed in, the tension on the Dreadnought was palpable. The crew exchanged glances, some nervous, others excited. They knew they were about to engage in a battle that would determine humanity's place in the galaxy. The commander of the alien fleet, still filled with arrogance, watched from his ship. "They think they can stand against us?" he sneered, waving a hand dismissively. "Let's show them the futility of their defiance." Suddenly, the alien fleet launched a barrage of energy blasts toward the Dreadnought. Bright beams of light streaked through space, creating a dazzling but deadly display. Captain Morgan's voice rang out over the chaos. "All hands, brace for impact!" The Dreadnought's powerful shields flared to life as the first shots hit. The ship shuddered, but the shields absorbed the energy, holding strong. "Shields holding!" the engineer shouted, relief flooding the control room. Morgan seized the opportunity. "Return fire! Target their lead ship!" He pointed to the largest alien vessel, a dark silhouette against the starry backdrop. The crew sprang into action, fingers flying over controls. A moment later, the Dreadnought's weapons fired back, unleashing a volley of bright projectiles. They soared through space, finding their mark. The lead alien ship erupted in a brilliant explosion, scattering debris across the void. Cheers erupted on the Dreadnought. The crew couldn't believe their eyes. "We did it! They're retreating!" someone shouted, excitement echoing through the control room. But the alien commander was furious. "Regroup! We will not let these humans humiliate us!" He ordered his remaining ships to advance, determined to show humanity their power. The Dreadnought moved swiftly, expertly dodging incoming fire. The crew felt the thrill of battle, adrenaline coursing through their veins. Morgan guided the ship with precision, using its agility to outmaneuver the larger alien vessels. "Deploy the drones," he commanded. Small fighter drones, equipped with weapons and guided by the Dreadnought's systems, launched into the fray. They swarmed around the alien fleet, distracting them and causing chaos. The drones danced through the darkness, firing at the alien ships. The alien fleet struggled to defend themselves, their confidence shaken by the unexpected human tactics. Morgan watched with a fierce grin, realizing that they were turning the tide of the battle. With a surge of determination, he made a bold decision. "Let's press the attack! Target their flanks and disable their engines!" The crew cheered, motivated by their captain's bravery. As the Dreadnought engaged the alien fleet, it showcased its advanced technology. The ship fired powerful beams that sliced through the darkness, striking the alien ships with deadly accuracy. One by one, the enemy vessels fell, their arrogance replaced by fear. In the Galactic Council chambers, leaders watched in shock. The laughter had faded completely, replaced by concern and disbelief. "What is happening?" one alien asked, unable to comprehend the defeat of their fleet. The commander of the council pounded his fist on the table. "We cannot let this continue! We underestimated them and now we must act." Back in space, the Dreadnought pressed on. The crew felt invincible as they outmaneuvered and outsmarted their opponents. Captain Morgan knew they were making history, fighting not just for themselves, but for every human on Earth. As the last alien ship fell, a triumphant cheer filled the Dreadnought. The crew had proved themselves in battle, and their victory echoed across the galaxy. "Prepare for a broadcast to the Galactic Council," Morgan ordered, his voice booming with authority. They would show everyone that humanity was a force to be reckoned with. As the Dreadnought hovered above the remains of the alien fleet, Morgan felt a swell of pride. They had turned the tables, and the galaxy would never laugh at humans again. The battle was won, but this was just the beginning of a new chapter for humanity in the stars. The Dreadnought floated silently above the wreckage of the alien fleet, a monument to humanity's newfound strength. Captain Morgan stood on the bridge, staring out into the void of space. The crew, still buzzing with adrenaline from their victory, celebrated quietly around him. They had done the impossible. They had faced a powerful enemy and emerged victorious. "Prepare to send a message to the Galactic Council," Morgan commanded. He knew it was time to deliver their statement. This was not just about victory, it was about establishing humanity's place in the galaxy. The communications officer nodded, quickly adjusting the controls. "We're ready, Captain," she said, her voice steady despite the excitement in the air. As the ship broadcasted the message, Morgan took a deep breath. "This is Captain Morgan of the Earth Dreadnought. To the Galactic Council, we have shown you today what humanity is capable of. We will no longer be underestimated." His voice echoed through the speakers, reaching every corner of the galaxy. He continued, "We fight not just for ourselves, but for the freedom and respect of all sentient beings. We seek peace, but we will defend our home fiercely if provoked." Back in the Galactic Council chambers, the atmosphere was tense. The alien leaders watched the broadcast in stunned silence. Many had thought humanity was weak, but now they saw the strength and determination that lay beneath the surface. "We cannot ignore this," one leader finally said, breaking the silence. "They have changed the game." The commander of the council stood up, his face serious. "We need to reconsider our approach. If we treat humanity with contempt, we risk another confrontation. We must find a way to negotiate." On Earth, the news of the Dreadnought's victory spread like wildfire. People cheered in the streets, celebrating their newfound power. The military was hailed as heroes, and General Harper stood proudly as he addressed the nation. "Today marks a new era for humanity. We will not just be a small planet, we will be a respected part of the galactic community." As the excitement grew, Captain Morgan and his crew prepared to return to Earth. They knew their victory was just the beginning. They had to work on building alliances and ensuring that their presence in the galaxy was known. When they landed, the crew was greeted with a hero's welcome. Crowds filled the streets, waving flags and chanting the names of their heroes. Morgan felt a swell of pride as he stepped off the ship. They had not only defended their home, but also inspired hope across the planet. In the following weeks, the Dreadnought became a symbol of strength and unity. Morgan and his crew traveled to various cities, sharing their story and rallying support for future missions. They emphasized the importance of diplomacy, but also the necessity of being prepared for any threat. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council began to act. They called for a summit with human leaders to discuss terms for peaceful coexistence. Many council members were still skeptical, but fear of another confrontation loomed large. At the summit, General Harper represented Earth. He stood before the council, determined to ensure humanity's voice was heard. "We are not here to start a war," he said, his voice firm. "We want to build a future together, but respect must go both ways." The council listened, their expressions a mix of apprehension and intrigue. "We have underestimated you, General," one alien leader admitted. "But trust must be earned. We cannot simply forget what has happened." The discussions were tense but productive. Earth and the Galactic Council began to negotiate terms of cooperation. They discussed trade, technology sharing, and mutual defense agreements. It was a slow process, but both sides knew it was essential to avoid future conflicts. As the days turned into weeks, the relationship between Earth and the Galactic Council began to evolve. The Dreadnought stood ready in orbit, a reminder of humanity's strength and resolve. Captain Morgan watched as humans and aliens worked together, building a new future. The laughter that once echoed in the council chambers was replaced by discussions of peace and cooperation. A new era had begun. Humanity had proven its worth, not just through battle, but through diplomacy and strength. As the stars twinkled above, both humans and aliens looked forward to a future where they could coexist, forging a path through the vastness of space together.